Greetings, Houdini Python students. In the next 2 sessions, we will be exploring how Python integrates with Houdini Digital Assets. In this first session, we're going to be using Kwargs to help identify global variables. But let's start off by using the digital asset that I created for this class. It's called Python class. Now you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to have to right click on this node and choose allow editing of contents, and then right click on it again and choose type properties. Okay, now here's my type properties window. Now what we're going to do is we are going to create a callback for this button press. When it says show stats here, I want to create a new callback for this. Now the big question is how will Houdini know which script to call for which node? And the answer lies within the global dictionary variable Kwargs, which stands for keyword arguments. Now the values stored in the Kwargs dictionary are things like current node, the node type, the old name, and the input index. And so I'm going to change this over to Python script, and I'm going to type in Kwargs, and we're going to access the current node, which will return the current node node type onto this, and then we're going to use a convenience function that Houdini supplies called HDA module, and we'll go into that a little bit later. And then we're going to call our callback script, and we're going to call this on button press. All right, you're going to say, hey, but wait a second, we haven't created that one yet. Well, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go over to the scripts window, and then make sure that the event handler says Python module, and we should see a Python module, and we should see a blank Python screen here. Make sure that this is definitely not HScript and it's the edit as Python windows. I'm going to create a new method called on button press. Okay, on button press. Give it a little colon here, and I'm just going to do something like a little bit of a display a message. All right. Who.ui display message on button press. All right, I'm going to hit apply, and now when we press the show stats button, we should get a little window. It says button press. All right, we know our callback does work, but what if we wanted to go and put some parameter information inside of that callback, like which node did the calling and what was the current parameter? Well, we're going to use Kwargs to do that too. So we're going to go back to our callback script call, and on button press, you notice that we didn't put any arguments in it. Well, we're going to put 2 arguments in here right now, and they're going to be both Kwargs calls. So I'm going to say Kwargs open, and I'm going to say the node is the first call, and I'm going to say Kwargs parm for the second. So what we're going to be calling is 2 arguments. One is the actual node, and one is the parameter name. I'm going to hit, and then we're going to go back over to scripts, and then I'm going to change this over to receive 2 name. I'm going to say me, which is the actual node name, and parm, which is the incoming parm name. Now I'm going to have to go and change my method now to reflect that change in input parameters. So my output statement is going to a little bit who.ui display message node plus me.name equals, all right, and then I want to get okay, and then we're going to put in the parm and the parm name. So we should display the node name and the parm name. I'm going to hit apply. Now when we hit the show stats, we're going to get a little window that pops up and say which node did the calling and which parameter did it. In this case it was stats, and stats is the name of our button. See? Stats is the name of our button. So what if we wanted to create a callback? Let's say that whenever the node changes the name. Well, we can use Kwargs for that one too. So go to the Scripts tab and go down here where it says Event Handler and pull all the way down to where it says On Name Changed. Now, you can't see that in my window here, but you can see it by yourself. If you click On Name Change, it creates a new module. And make sure to change this over to a Python script so we know that we're editing in Python and not an H script. So we're going to create a brand new script, which is going to call back whenever the node changes its name. So the first line is say me equals kwargs.node, which basically gives the current node information into the me variable. I'm going to create an old name variable, which is going to store the old name of the node of what it used to be. And then I'm going to create a little buffer to store all this text information. Okay, buffer equals old name, and it's just a text, and just change to and me.name. Now I have put me.name because me is actually a node, while old name is actually a text string. And then we're going to use the display message command. All right. Now it's a very simple little script. It's just going to call back whenever we change the node name. So I'm going to hit apply. So I'm going to go ahead and change this class to maybe class, call it 1. And then we see that a little window comes up. It says Python class just changed to Python class 1. All right. Our callback is working. Now this wraps up our first session with Python and Houdini Digital Assets. We use the global variable dictionary Kwargs to help create an argument-controlled callback and create a custom event handler. Now in the next session, we will learn how to create multiple Python modules in the digital asset and then call Python code from outside the digital asset. I'll see you in the next lesson.